Hey Keybros, what do you say? What do you know? This is the Great Keeper coming at you from the Great Man Cave. How y'all doing? Hope you're having a blessed day. Well, today's video is called Drawbars and the Great Experiment and Will It Work? Alright, now that's what it's called. So it's actually, in the first part, we're going to talk about the Hammond B3 organ. Alright? Because in order to understand drawbars, you got to know about the B3 or any Hammond organ, okay? And the first thing you need to know, because there's a lot of you young guys that probably never even played a Hammond, and I've been playing a Hammond since I was 6 years old. And matter of fact, the very first keyboard I ever touched was this very B3 right here at age 6. And when I was 12 years old, I made my first public performance. I sat in with my brother's band and I played the whole first set. So this very special organ. This is a 1962 Hammond. Also, it was a great year that they made them. Now, every Hammond organ, there's not one alike. You know, you could have a B3 and then you could go play another B3. You can't, physically they'll be the same. Personality-wise, it will be different. They all have their own different personalities. Like this one here, this is more of a jazz organ. I don't know, because it's been played jazz most of its life and it's bred into it, I don't know. But I played other B3s that were more rock than this one. This is more of a cleaner B3, alrighty? And, but our focus is going to be on drawbars, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Now, what I mean by a mechanical organ, this has a mechanical tone generator. And what it has two motors, alright? You have one motor that starts it and gets it up to a certain RPM. Then you have the second motor that kicks in, which maintains that RPM. It's got to run at a certain speed. Alright, then what you have for every note, you have like a rod that goes across, alright, and there's all these little discs, alright. This is a washer, so, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea. And these discs turn, alright. And then I think there's like a tube and a pickup. And somehow by doing this, by that tube, that's where you get the organ sound. Alright? Now, that's interesting that the Hammond works like that. Also, the volume pedal is a very special dude. Alright? Because the volume pedal, unlike a lot of volume pedals that work with potentiometers, which is basically a knob that works with the pedal, these work by light. Alright, so you have a little light bulb that shines, and it's kind of like a V wedge. So it starts out really small amount of light, and as you push it down, you get more light and the volume increases. So it uses light to operate the volume pedal, which is the best type of pedal to have. Now, if you want that type of pedal, you could wait till a cold day in hell when I build one, or you can buy one which is really good. It's made by Morley. It's called the Morley Alligator pedal. That pedal is phenomenal. I used to have one, and I'm going to buy another one. Alrighty. So that's volume. Alright. Now we have drawbars. And what you have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 drawbars on this. Alright? And I'm going to show you what these drawbars do. Alrighty? Now remember I was telling you about the 2 motors? Alright, when you start the B3, you're going to hit the first switch, and you're going to count to about 10. Alright? And at the end of 10, then you flip the second switch. Alright, now I didn't count because I know what it does. It goes, I know the right pitch to hit the run switch. Alrighty? And I'm going to go and switch around here. And what I'm going to do some zoomage so you can see the drawbars. Okay. Now you won't be able to see my ugly face, but you should be able to see the drawbars. Okay. Oh, I know what's wrong. Hold on a minute. Ah, okay. I got a little hum here. Okay, now one thing about the B3, when you're in percussion mode, this very last drawbar don't work. Only when you're in percussion. Okay, now you have these drawbars. And let's bring this one to light. Okay. Alright, now what I'm going to show you is I wrote out a piece of paper here. Alright, and so what we're going to do is we're going to document what each drawbar does. Alrighty, and hold on a minute. There we go. Alright. Now here's the first drawbar. Alright. As you can tell, this first drawbar is a low C. Alright, so let's just say LC. Alright. The second drawbar is a G note. Hear it? Low C. And this will be a high G. Alright. Now the third note, the third drawbar is a C note, and we'll call that C0. Alright? It's an octave higher. It's actually 2 octaves higher. Alright? Alright. So we have low C, high G, and an octave. So if you take the 2 tonics and mix them together, alright, then add the 5th, so it's actually two notes. You have a first and a 5. This is with the drawbars. Okay, now we'll bring the fourth one in. Okay, now remember we said this would be, fourth one would be C, and we'll call that C3. All right. So we got C. So this is an octave of C. Okay, and now the fifth one is a higher octave G. And the next one is an octave higher in C. We'll call that C4. All right? So you actually got 3 C's playing. Okay? And then the next one will be this drawbar will be an E, and we'll call that E5. All right? And this is another G. But we'll call this G6, because it's way up there. And the very last one and this is the higher octave yet, we'll call that C5. All right, so you see how they're mixed with the triad. So if you want to do first, well, let's do first will be 4. Okay, now if you go to another preset, like this one, this will operate this next set of drawbars, which that means these drawbars are not going to work with percussion. All right, percussions won't work on this preset. All right, so this is with the drawbars. Another feature you have is the chorus vibrato. All right, and right now I have it set for C3. Here's it. And there's various different ones. If you go on the so you're working with that volume pedal because it's a punching type. Now using the lower drawbars, what do I do? Oh. Wait, there's one of these things I can do. Apparently I have that mixer turned off. Okay. Alright, now, that's the understanding of the drawbars. Okay? Now, let's do this. Now we're going to do the experiment. Now that we know what these are, I'm thinking, what if we go to the Chrome? Alright? Bring up the mixer window. I believe you have 8 or 9 slots there. So if you go to the mixer window, let me turn the Leslie on here. I got a piece of paper that went inside there and I have to try to dig it out. And the bottom rotor's hitting it. Some work I got to do. Yes. Okay, so go into a combi, all right, and bring up like 8 or 9 different organs, whatever's on the window, and I believe there's 8, most likely 8 mixer. So you bring up the combi window and hit mixer, and then you're going to get sliders, all right, on the screen. Be 8 sliders, all right. And so those sliders slide up and down. Touch screen, you can physically do that, all right. Now, you're not going to be able to grab a bunch of them. You'll have to slide them down one at a time, all right. And but here's my idea, all right. Say if we go into combi and we find like say a nice full organ, alrighty? Alright, so what you do is you grab that organ and you're going to put it on 1 through 8. The same organ. It's going to go on 8 tracks. So track 1 will be that organ. Track 3 will be that organ. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same organ, alright? Then you're going to go to MIDI. And you're going to put all that on one MIDI channel. So they'll all play at the same time. Alright? And I'm going to show you. Alright? And then we're going to go and hit the Windows menu. And we're going to go into pitch. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take those 8 organs. Alright? And since we can't use the 9th slider, what we'll do is we'll pick a percussion organ. Alright? So when you're in the percussion, the 9th slider don't work. So since we have 8 sliders we can work, we'll go with percussion organ, all right? So all 8 tracks will be percussion organ. Then what we're going to do is we're going to tune them exactly like what we just got, okay? So I'm going to move over and the camera over to the Chrome, and we're going to do that. Now, when we complete this, we should be able to use the mixer screen like drawbars, okay? And I think this will work, alrighty? Alrighty? And you may say, what's the purpose? Well, the purpose is say if you have a favorite drawbar setting, well, you could use that mixing screen to get the drawbar settings you like, and then save it as a preset on your keyboard. So if you have like maybe a Jimmy Green Spoon from Three Dog Night setting, you can call that Three Dog Night B3. All right, and so you can move those sliders around to any type of organ you want. All right. And after you have these made, like you could take Whiter Shade of Pale organ left hand and put that in an organ split. All right. So you could have Jimmy Green Spoon organ up on top and Whiter Shade of Pale down on the bottom. That's Jeremy. He wants to do a video call, but I'm making this video. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to move the camera over to the Chrome. I think this will be pretty cool. Take your bets if you think this will work like drawbars. Okay, see you in a second. Okay, Key Bros, here we are. We're in front of the Chrome. I hope you guys can see the screen. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into combis. Alright, and then I think we'll go into eBank. Okay, that was a program I made. What we're going to do, we're going to go up until we find a blank one. We're going to find it. Oh, there we go. Alright. So we got a blank bank. And, alright. Now I'm probably going to do some fumbling around because it's been a while since I have done this. And, so we're going to go to the very first one. Well, you know what? Let's go into, we're going to set this up. Alright, so we're going to make everything cool. Alright, so we're going to go into Windows, and I believe MIDI, hold on a minute, okay, P5, maybe? No, exit. 3, P3. 1 through 8. And what we're going to do is, okay, we're going to go to track 2, say 1. Track 3, say 1. Track 4 on the MIDI, you see where I'm at? Say 1. Track 5, go to 1G, okay. All of them are going to say the same thing. What you're doing is you're assigning all 8 tracks to the same MIDI channel. Alright? And track 8. Okay, so we'll get out of that. Alright, and now we're going to go track 1, and then we're going to go to organ, and you can tell you can hear piano, and we're going to go back and we're going to go mixer, and then what we're going to bring all the drawbars down. So we're only on 1. And I'm going to grab my paper. Alright, so we're going to use that. And I need a hit of iced tea. I'm going to go back. Alright, organ. Alright, jazz organ, distortion, percussion. Alrighty, and there's a way we can copy the effects, and we'll get to that later. Alrighty. Alright, so then we'll go to track 2, organ. Jazz organ, distortion, okay. And basically 1 through 8, we're just going to assign the same program to all 8. Alright, so now we're going to go into Windows again, and I believe P3, and pitch. Alright. Alright, now, where's my paper? Put that right here. Okay, that's a low C, so we're going to take that down to C. That's kind of low. Let's bring it up more. Still low, because your bottom. Okay, that would be good. Alright, then we're going to go back to Windows. Alright, and mixer. Oh wait, I can mute that. Alright, now we're going to go to, here, this will be easier. Let's mute them all, go to mixer, and bring the sliders up. That way, then all we got to do is go back. Okay, we're set. Then all we're gonna do is just hit a button, and we'll be able to bring each one in. All right. Now, this next one's gonna be. You know what? I'm gonna fire up the Akai so I can use it for pitch. All right. Let's give it a second for this thing to come on. But when we get done, we're gonna have these 8 sliders tuned exactly the way the B3 is. And we'll see how well that works out. Alright. Give me a couple seconds. The Akai MPC is firing up. I'm just firing it up so I know what note I'm going to be hitting. Okay, and okay, now we're gonna go to Windows and we're B3 pitch. All right. So if we go back, hold on a minute. Okay, now we'll bring that down with the drawbars mixer. Okay, it works, but you don't have to put a lot, but this will work to build different programs. All right, we're going to kill that, and then the next one's going to be a high C. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, high C. So, P3, pitch. And that will be a +12. Okay, that one's set. And go back, kill that. And we're going to number 4. Pitch. And that's going to be a higher G. All right. And then we're going to go to 5. First, we have to cut that off. Now, go to 5. And that's going to be high C. So it'll be 12, 24. All right. Now we're going to go to 5. Or 6, I should say. And go to pitch. And that's going to be a higher C. Okay. And kill that. And then this is going to be an E. Seven. Okay. Now we're go to 8. Kill that. Bring 8 in. And P3. And that's supposed to be a G. And they're calling for a high G. They're calling for a higher G. Okay, now we'll put these all on. Go to the mixer. Okay, it does work, but it's really, you can't move them really high. All right. So if we hit this one. All right, it's very, let me hit this again. And, okay. It does work, but not like the B3, because on the B3 you're setting, because we're bringing in organs, all right, and those organs already have tritones in it, all right, because it's set up fully, and so it has all the drawbars in it. Then we're tuning it, all right, so it works to a certain degree, all right. So, but you could only maybe move it up like 5 or 6 numbers on the thirds and the fifths, alrighty. But it does work, all right. You guys can see, and so that's where we're at. Hey, Keyboards, what do you say? What do you know? This is kind of like an afterthought to the Drawbars video you just watched. Well, I was going to go on with some other ideas, but since these ideas are going to take place on a Chrome EX, I decided to end this video here, all right? And then we're going to continue on with the Drawbars Part 2, and this will pertain to the Chrome EX. Now, you can most likely use these ideas on various other keyboards, but I feel that since I'm going to be doing all this stuff on the EX, and there's going to be a lot of the stuff that's going to pertain to the EX, let's just make it a Chrome EX video for organ. Alright? So, I thank you all for watching this video. I hope I educated you in some ways. In the way the experiment worked out, but also check out Part 2, and because I'm going to do some different tunings, and we're going to see if these tunings work out. I'm not that familiar with the Yamaha keyboards since I'm not a Yamaha guy, but maybe some of these ideas will work. Usually anything that does combis, you can apply these ideas, alrighty? And so we'll just end this now, and then we're going to go on to Part 2 with the EX. Okay? I ask that God may bless you all, and see you when I see ya.